Well, Congresswoman Maxine Waters handing some tough questions to Wall Street executives on the Hill this afternoon.
She's joining us now for some reaction. And as this hearing continues, Representative Waters, your point was very forcefully made, and you caught a lot of attention. You certainly caught our attention. Tell me, what is the number one message you wanted these bankers to get? And did you receive information that you feel the American public really needed to hear? Because there's some question about that now.
Well, my number one message that I wanted them to get was that they were using the taxpayers' money. This was the money of the citizens who work hard every day, who's bailing them out, and yet some of these citizens go to the banks to try and get loans for a car, a mortgage, or to take care of the student, or get a student loan, or what have you, and they're getting turned down. Not only are they getting turned down, they came to us, they got all of this money to unfreeze the credit markets, and they're more frozen now than ever. The taxpayers are not being able to get these loans. Small businesses are not able to get money for inventory or to expand their businesses. And on top of that, they're increasing the amount of interest on the credit cards. And so I wanted them to understand, and I referred to them as the captains of the universe, who are sitting there with huge salaries and bonuses and stock options, but they're using the working man and woman's money.
Now, Congresswoman, we didn't think we'd hear anybody tougher than you, but then came your fellow Democrat, Michael Capuano, and I'm sure you were cheering him on. He actually said, "I can't believe no one's been prosecuted on this. It's my hope that you will be answering for that in court one day." Do you think there was actual criminal negligence here?
Well, I think, as I tried to say to the captains of the universe today,
they call themselves corporals, by the way, but anyway.
Well, yeah, all of a sudden, you know, the big guys aren't as big as they used to be when they get before us and they have to answer tough questions. The fact of the matter is, you know, subprime lending was at the epicenter of this crisis that we have. When I take a look at what was done, all of the exotic products, the Alt-A loans, the interest-only loans, the adjustable rate mortgages, there's a lot of fraud in there. Not only do you have bad exotic products that never should have been on the market, some of these unsuspecting, unknowing citizens signed on the dotted lines of things they didn't know what they were signing. Sometimes they were signed for by the loan initiator. And so I think that there's room for a lot of investigation here about how this banking industry has managed this whole mortgage situation.
Representative, do we risk sort of gumming up the entire machine if we start to get caught up in telling these guys what they should be making, what kind of bonuses they should be giving? Obviously, it's our money, too, here sitting on this set. It's our taxpayer money. We're not happy about it. But when the government gets involved in setting salaries and things like that, isn't that a road you ought to be really careful about going down?
No, what we ought to be careful about is not going down the same road we've been going down all these years with these guys. These guys have done very, very well. They live in $12 million apartments, on and on and on. And so they have not been regulated enough. I'm not saying that we have to dot all the I's and cross all the T's, but there's got to be stricter regulation, and we have to go to the heart of the matter by saying, you know, you just can't keep getting all of these bonuses and flying these jets and, you know, making off with the taxpayers' money. We have to get tougher.
Well, regulation is one thing, but actually becoming a banking manager as a legislator is another. That is, do you think that some people inside the Beltway should be deciding whether these banks make loans and how much they should be making loans for?
No, and we're not saying that at all. As a matter of fact, nowhere in the TARP monies that have been given or those that will be given are we trying to say you can't make this loan, you can't make that loan. We're saying we want them to be responsible. We're saying that you can't just come here and get the taxpayers' money and then not put the money back out into the markets. You can't just say that you need the money in order to save this economy when in fact the credit is still frozen, and while the interest rates, the Fed rate is way down, you're going to increase the amount of interest on the credit cards that people are holding out there. Those are contradictions we cannot abide.
Representative, let's look forward instead of back. What now needs to be done? You've had a chance to listen to these 8 gentlemen. Do you feel better at all about the way they will proceed with lending than you did going into this hearing? Are you a little happier or more comfortable with what you've heard today?
Well, I feel that, with us shining light on what the public is unhappy about, what we're unhappy about, I think they're getting the message. I think, however, in the new TARP allocations, we must be more vigilant. We must be more directive in helping them to know what is unacceptable. Now, we're waiting for our new treasurer to roll out with what these guidelines are going to be. I think there may be guidelines coming forth that will be reasonable, that will be sensible. It just won't allow them to do any old thing the way they have done in the past.
Congresswoman Maxine Waters, always a pleasure to have you on, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.